Hi, welcome to Moose Jaw This Week. I'm Lyle Johnson, your host, and today we're talking to Group and Citizen of the Year. And today, the Citizen of the Year, the first person we're going to talk to in this segment is James Murdoch. And James was selected the 2016 Citizen of the Year for the City of Moose Jaw. So first of all, congratulations, James.
Well, thank you very much, Lyle. Greatly appreciate that.
And James, you had really good people nominated with you, and I would not want to have been on the selection committee, but at the end of the day, the selection of you was a wonderful choice.
Well, I agree with you completely to begin with, Lyle. A great group of people that essentially were representing all areas of citizens of Moose Jaw. Mm-hmm. And I was very honored to even have my name mentioned with that fine group. And I kind of joked with Mr. Rob Clark from the Chamber, you know, when he first told me about my nomination, it truly caught me off guard, and I said, and then he told me the other citizens, and I said, well, I tell you what, Rob, 6 sounds like a better number than 7, so I said, why don't you just, don't worry about me, and he said, no, he said, we want to recognize all of you, and so it was indeed an honor.
7's a lucky number.
Well, true. Yes, there you have it. So, yeah, that's so true. Yeah.
So let's just talk about some of the things that have that garnered you that recognition. And of course, most people know you from your business here at the Moose Jaw Funeral Home, and it's a very positive experience. And when you come here, it's not exactly the least stressful time. And you make people feel very much at ease here, and that carries over into your contributions to the community.
You know, I think it may. Sure. You know, we all pride ourselves. Our great group of people here that make our staff. You know that we're very kind and caring people, and we have the people's best interests. And I think that likely has maybe reflected in what I've been able to help in the city at different points, with different volunteer aspects.
Yeah, and in volunteering, the Moose Jaw Health, the Five Hills Foundation, holy, that's a big deal.
That's a good way to state that, Lyle. Holy is right. When we received word that Moose Jaw was, had been chosen to receive a brand new regional hospital instead of maybe the refurbishing of the Union Hospital. We welcomed that, but we knew there was going to be great challenges with the capital equipment campaign and what the provincial government was asking us to be responsible for. Mm-hmm. But, you talk about great group of volunteers. Dave Reedy, chaired that, that kind of group and that campaign, being our volunteer chair for the capital equipment campaign. I'm going to say there was likely 60 to 70 volunteers that literally on a daily basis we were interacting with each other, and at the completion of it all, the truth is in the numbers. $11 million in about 500 days was, and our original campaign goal was about 8.2 million, and we achieved that literally in record time, I would think. And then there was a few extras, that
our hospital needed.
That's right. That necessarily wouldn't have been part of the original 8.2 to 8.3, but because find people in our community, and I just don't want it to come across, Lyle, that it was a Moose Jaw campaign. It was a regional campaign, and the rural communities, right from all the RMs, to the fine citizens that make up, the town of Assiniboia, Gravelburg, Central Butte, they were on board right from the beginning, and that it just kept gaining momentum.
Yeah, and of course our hospitals are regional hospitals, Five Hills Regional.
That's right.
Until they combine all the hospitals, and
yeah,
lucky you got it done now. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But and there's so many aspects to creating a whole new hospital with new gear and a new style of delivery that had not been seen
Yeah.
in Saskatchewan. You know,
Yeah.
those are a lot of challenges.
Yeah, a lot, that's correct, you know, and I guess it was maybe, you know, the fear of the unknown. I mean, this was a first, and, you know, no doubt there's likely been some kinks that have had to be worked out, but, you know, as long as they realize what those are, you know, I hope things, you know, all come together, and yeah.
Well, recently we were taping another segment up at the hospital, and I got as far into the hospital as I'd ever been
Yeah.
before, and it was. Thankfully, they don't have a lot of doors like the police station, which is another thing we're doing. But it's you know, the place is well laid out. There's good signage in there, and people. And how do you feel when you walk in the hospital? How do you feel?
You know, I feel good. Just knowing how everyone rallied to do what we did, you know, to help achieve, you know, the final goal, which was having a brand new state-of-the-art medical facility with arguably some of the best equipment that would rival a Calgary or an Edmonton. You know, we have it here. And I think you're starting to see that, you know, that other communities with, you know, their, you know, citizens and that they're using it as well, you know, and which is good, you know. I think, you know, let's be proud of the fact that we do have a brand new state-of-the-art MRI here, and you know, let's just keep it operating so that people throughout the entire province can utilize it. You know, that benefits us all.
Yeah, I had a chance to use it once.
Oh,
yeah,
did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
and wow, on time and right there. And they said, be here at this time. I was there at this time. 20 minutes, I'm done.
Really?
I'm off and gone. So that was, you know,
Really well.
those people do really good things. You know, they have good staff,
Yes.
and they make good use of that. Yeah.
Just like anything, it's the staff or the workers, like the people that bring that, the personal touch, you know, and that very key, very key.
And speaking of personal touches too, you not only the hospital funding was a huge thing, but you've done other things in our community. You've done, when your children were growing up, you had some soccer and some baseball, and
Still
you know,
carried on with fastball with them. I really enjoy that, and they enjoy the sport as well. Maybe there's times that they wish Dad wasn't the coach, but you know,
Yeah.
that all adds to it. But it's, you know, athletics is an important part for a person too, you know, being involved, and I think it kind of brings you together with what it means to be part of a team. And you know,
well, culturally too, you were involved, because I saw you at the Mortlach Fairy Festival,
Oh, right.
walking down the street doing surveys and stuff like that.
Yeah, my wife and I, and actually our 2 daughters. This has been about the last 3 summers we've volunteered out there. A very good friend of ours, Rhonda Hawkes, which we all know Rhonda, you know, just thought it would, you know, because my wife has a, you know, a family connection with Mortlach, so we mentioned it to her, and she said, "Sure, come out," you know. So it's good, yeah, and that's definitely a nice pace too, you know, just to walk the main street and have a chance to visit with thousands of people. I like that.
Exactly. You were walking along and say, well, we're doing a survey, and we have to do this survey to prove to government how valuable what we do is,
great.
and it helps with the funding.
Because over the years, if Rhonda explained it correctly to me, that they had to have so many names and that on the surveys, and that if they provided the sufficient numbers, then they qualified for a grant from the province, which, you know, when you start talking about thousands of dollars, that can really benefit any, you know, any type of event. And so good on them. Yeah, I really commend them for that.
The Saskatoon Berry Festival in Mortlach is right around July 1st weekend.
Yeah.
It's something worthwhile going to.
Yeah, oh, it is. It truly is. You know, it's just
sell
gives
thousands of
of pies, and they're usually all sold out by about 1 o'clock. You know, it's remarkable. But there you have it. You know, many come together to make it a function, you know, an event that's talked about right around the province, right through. So, yeah, good for them.
Yeah, and you've done a lot of good things, not just last year. It kind of culminated last year, but you have new projects to move on to, and probably your wife is happy to see you home a bit more.
Sure. Yeah. I know it's you know, you do what you can, you know, and you know, there will always be new challenges, you know, no matter, you know, what community a person's in, but it's just good to help any way we can, you know, and but as I stated at the luncheon last week, I'm fortunate to have tremendous support, like from my wife Bev, and you know, thus enabling me to kind of help
Valentine's
out.
card or something.
Well, yeah, that's it. Yeah, she said that really caught her off guard, but it's those things that you don't say enough, you know. Yeah.
Well, we're at near the end of our time. I wanted to say congratulations,
Wow,
Jim.
thank you. No, thank you, my friend. Yeah,
And it was nice that you were recognized, and along with the other people who were nominated with you. But it was very nice thing to take all the time that you've committed to our community in generating the funds to help our hospital be the success it is.
Well, it's you know, if good people come together, great things can be accomplished, and that's exactly what that entire campaign was. It was just people that had the best intentions for our city and for generations to come. So,
all right, well, thank you. And when we come back, we're going to be talking to the Group of the Year for their recognition. So don't go away. We'll be right back.